Now, before I start this video, I want to pay the utmost respect to Akira Toriyama, the man, the legend who helped shape a huge portion of my childhood, an icon who made the world pause when he died, and rumors occurring that even the Mexican cartel gangs called a truce to pay due respect in the news of his death, which probably wasn't true, but regardless, Toriyama unified the world through his creative works, and that deserves to be honored. Now, on to Daima. When I learned the show would take place with the cast being portrayed as children, I wasn't too excited about that. My many criticisms as of recent was that Dragon Ball as a franchise was catering too much to children and losing its grittiness, the blood, the violence, and mature themes it would always dive into. That while DBZ would make you laugh with the cast of characters' personalities being highlighted at times,
but you just want to gobble them up! Are you nuts?
It still has so many scenes that stick with me to this day, like when Piccolo died, self-sacrificing himself for Gohan. It makes you feel something because the mentor and apprentice relationship between the two had me invested, and it took its time to lead up to. It wasn't rushed trying to skim through it, assuming it'd have an emotional pull by default, like character's death equals good story. No. What this scene did was earn my emotional investment. It showed me the growth that Piccolo went through, from the self-serving wanting to rule the world to this selfless act in order to save the world, admitting Gohan was his first true friend, and still would have me fighting back a few tears if I watched that scene to this day.
You're the only real friend that I've ever had. I want to thank you.
Or Vegeta's death by Frieza. Vegeta, who was always this prideful Saiyan, refusing to ever be seen as vulnerable. But when he gave his last speech to Kakarot, detailing the past of their Saiyan race, this was true character arc on display. From the twist of truth being revealed of their home planet, the voice acting, animation, really delivering the scene. From him coughing up blood, struggling to get the truth out, needing Kakarot to understand Frieza isn't someone deserving of his good nature. He's cold-blooded evil and won't hesitate to use your kindness against you. And despite Kakarot telling Vegeta to save his breath to ease his pain, Vegeta remains steadfast because he knows Goku is the only one who can avenge the race, putting his pride aside in front of his former enemy, now ally.
Destroy Frieza! He made me what I am!
This is what I'm talking about. These are the type of mature themes I always felt Super was lacking and was hoping to get in Daima, but from the direction I see the show is taken, I highly doubt that. Now, it doesn't mean Daima is bad. I am enjoying this show for what it is, an adventure that to me feels like an RPG game playing out. It has that good old Dragon Ball humor that still makes me laugh. It has some cool action scenes like the bar fight that reminds me of a classic Jackie Chan movie where he uses everything in his environment to his benefit, and I do applaud it for being grounded, where you see actual martial arts fist-to-fist fighting that to me is way more engaging. But even with all of this, it's just missing that thing that has me fully invested, anticipating each episode every week, similar to how I am with Dan to Dan, where Daima, my approach is, oh, I'll get to it when I can. And maybe because the Dragon Ball franchise is so popular that it tries to cater to everyone rather than a specific audience. I wouldn't say it's necessarily catering to children, but more like a E for everyone approach. Maybe it feels like it can't go too hard because children watch it as well, but let me tell you, man, I think Japan gives their youth or children demographic way more credit than we do here in the West, or at least America, that they're able to handle certain themes that, especially as of recent, makes us so easily offended. For example, I remember me and my brother watching Toonami and getting sick of the constant DBZ reruns. Maybe some of you can relate. So we went to Chinatown to buy some of the Japanese versions, or movies we didn't even know existed, like Broly. And let me tell you, I was shocked at how much was being censored for our sensibilities. When I saw Vegeta curse for the first time and blood being depicted in certain fights, even scenes of a fight that was cut out for us, I said, damn, this is what I was missing out on? This is way better than what we're getting over here. So that's one theory. I remember hearing someone say, man, people are really missing out on Daima. I mean, we're getting some of the best fights we've ever seen, and the animation is so smooth, fluid, and superb. I'm paraphrasing, but it made me think, some of the best fights. I mean, they're cool and entertaining to watch, but some of the best, that's a huge stretch, my friend. And yes, the animation is so beautiful to watch, but great animation, it isn't a rare thing nowadays. It doesn't come few and far between like it did back then in the 80s or 90s, comparatively speaking. Like when a certain anime show got a movie made for it, you could tell immediately the budget for the movie compared to the show was much higher. Now, don't get me wrong, it was cool for the first episode to see scenes of the past from DBZ with updated animation. That was really cool to see. But nowadays, we have Demon Slayer, Wand and Sword, Edge Runners, like great great animation is almost a common thing now. It's like great, amazing, out of this world graphics won't sell a game nowadays on its own. It's only so real you can make the water or a sky scene. It's the icing on the cake, but not enough to make a game, in my opinion, sell. So that alone won't make or break a show. Well, let me take that back. Bad animation can ruin the experience despite how good the story is. But I hope you get my point. Like, for instance, the Vegeta vs. Raccoon fight is still one of my favorites to this day. Yes, Vegeta lost, well, he won in the end, but the intensity of that fight could be felt through the screen. Vegeta's anger and might met with Raccoon's goofy confidence made this fight so fun to watch. And remember, like I said, it has great fist-to-fist martial arts animation rather than a screen full of shockwaves. The power scaling was measurable and it wasn't too far-fetched just to move the plot along.
I just love picking vegetables out of my garden.
And I say some of the best animation I've seen to this day is from Ghost in the Shell. And that was made in the 90s. That scene with her fighting the dude in the water, of how the animation displayed her translucent bodysuit, the fluidity of the movements that to me just looks better hand drawn. Or the bullets from the spider hitting the concrete, in my opinion, rivals the animation of today despite all the technology we have. And one more thing before I end this video, one thing I was really hoping for was to give us a memorable Super Saiyan moment or a transformation of some sort. I honestly think Future Trunks before Dead Gohan was the last time that a transformation felt like it held weight, where it meant something to become Super Saiyan and it wasn't something that was easily achieved by simply feeling a tingly sensation in your back. Man, that really pissed me off watching that. To see how much becoming a Super Saiyan was devalued to where now Super Saiyan form might as well be base form. And I know I sound like an old man on the porch, but hey man, I'm just free thinking. So I was just hoping that Goku would remain in his base form much longer before having to resort to Super Saiyan. That, like everything else since being turned back into a kid, maybe Super Saiyan would have been like a hill to climb for him. Like maybe against an extremely strong enemy that a near-death experience would force out of him. But maybe we still might get something like that. I mean, he hasn't attempted Super Saiyan 3 yet, so there's still potential for that. So, you know. So these are just my intuitive reasons I think Daima isn't as popular as some people estimated. Now I'm still going to keep watching because I am enjoying it for what it is. I've just tempered my expectations. Like I said, I like the adventure aspect of it, and as Toriyama's last piece of work, I can feel his spirit in it. Like I said, it feels like an RPG, and that's no surprise considering his involvement with game franchises. So yeah, but that's all I have for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. I hope I don't get too much hate on this one because believe me, I love Akira Toriyama. Like I said, I wanted to pay my utmost respect to him. But I've been seeing a lot of videos recently talking about the lack of popularity for the show, and I just wanted to give my reasoning, what my intuition is based off. I haven't even looked at any ratings or anything, but I can tell it's lacking in the conversation where Dan is just in every conversation, you know. So tell me what you think in the comment section below. If you haven't already, check out my music on Spotify, link in the description. If you enjoy those Samurai Champloo lo-fi mellow boom bap vibes, then my music is definitely for you. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Free think, peace.